Hello again, kids. Welcome back to the activities of grade time 1, unit 5. So now we are on page 489 of your student's book. So if you have your book, let's get it now. And if you don't, here it is. We will actually work with the activities on page 50. But to do that, first you need to read this text right here and observe some things. Okay, so if you don't have your book, here is the text for you. Okay, you can zoom in the video if you want to read it better. And if you do have your book, read it first, and then let's go to page 50 on your student's book. Okay? Okay, so now that you already read the text on page 49, let's move on to page 50. And we will work with grammar now. And we will talk about the simple present. Okay? So why do we study the simple present? Why do we use the simple present? Because we need to speak about the present, right? The things that are happening in our lives and the things that we do every day, okay, that are part of our routine. Okay, so we will see a little bit more how to work with the simple present. Let's start the activity. Let's do them together. Okay, so here is exercise number 1. Let's take a look at the example there. I love Glee Club. Okay, then what you have to do is go back to the text if you need, take a look at the options that you have, and then try to fill in each one of the blanks with the best option. Okay, try to do it by yourself first, and then we will correct together and check some possible questions. Okay. All right, so let's correct it now. What can you do in the Glee Club, right? So many friends at the Glee Club. Well, I imagine that you can make so many friends at the Glee Club, right? What about she? Here is when we have something different. So she plays the piano too. Okay, we will talk a little bit more about why we have plays and not play. Okay, where do they get together? Yeah, so they meet in the auditorium. Okay, and the teachers and the other students always cheer when they finish. Do you know what cheer is? It's when there's a game, when football's playing on TV, when, I don't know, there's a concert and you see your favorite singer, you usually cheer like, yay. All right, so now let's see why we have that S when we talk about she, right? Well, here we have some more examples. Let's take a look at them up there. So it's saying, I live in Nicosia, you do your homework, we like fish, and they go to the park. But every time that we have he, she, or it, we will add an S to the verb. So they use the verb cook there to give an example, right? So he cooks, she cooks, and it cooks. Okay, so making a full sentence. He cooks pasta for dinner. Yeah? She cooks a delicious meal every day. It cooks very slowly when it's cold. All right, and this is for affirmative sentences. Don't forget, if we have a negative or a question, then some things will change and we will work with that later on. Okay, So now let's move on to the next activity, still in this grammar part, okay? All right, so before we move on to the next activity, let's observe some things here. I want you to take a look at this rule box that is over there. So let's complete it together. We add s to the base form of the verb when the subject is he, she, or it. We just saw that, right? But there are some cases where we need to change a little bit more. And they will talk about these cases here. Let's read that here and understand, okay? So, if the verb ends in consonant plus y, we change the y to an I and add es. For example, the verb study. If we have he, she, or it, we will say she studies, he studies, it studies. But when we write, we need to make this change here. We take off the y, it's gone, and then we change it for I-E-S. Okay? And then there's another exception. Let's take a look at the second line here. If the verb ends in ch, sh, ss, or x, we add es to the end. So watch actually turns into watches. So let's make some sentences to train that. For example, he studies every day with his friends. Okay? He studies. She watches TV on Sunday morning. So, watches, not watch. Okay? All right, so now here on activity number 2 on page 50, what you have to do is read and complete with the correct form of the verb for he, she, or it. Okay? So, the example is carry. It turns into carries because we saw that it ends up in y. You need to take it off and then add I-E-S. Okay? What about choose? What do we have to do here? Do we have to change anything? Here we don't have to change anything. We will just add s normally. Okay? So it turns into chooses. Okay? What about finish? Finish ends up in sh, right? So we turn into finishes. Okay? And then this is what you have to do for the rest. Analyze each verb and change it according to the rule that we just saw. All right? Pause the video now, do it by yourself, and then we correct it in a second. Okay, guys, so here are all the verbs corrected already. Okay, so we have carry, carries, choose, chooses, finish, finishes, fly, flies, get, gets, go, goes, help, helps, love, loves, miss, misses, study, studies, teach, teaches, and watch, watches. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you later for the next video. Bye-bye.